Hello everybody and welcome back to Blitz Alert. Today we are going to be doing my NFL Week 11 predictions. So we're going to start off with the Bengals versus the Washington football team. Not the best teams in the league. There's really no one clear answer to this one. It's not going to be a good game. I mean, two of the worst teams in the league. Bengals have really never been a good team. Not never, but they haven't been a good team in the past few years. The Washington football team, they're also not a good team. They have no offense. They have Terry McLaurin. That's about it. They're on their second backup quarterback, Alex Smith, who is coming off of a huge injury. But that doesn't mean he's good. He's still not a good player. He never was really amazing. So it's him, the veteran quarterback, versus Joe Burrow, the rookie quarterback. I think this one's gonna go to the Bengals. They were able to beat the Titans. They may have a really bad offensive line, but I think that Joe Burrow is gonna be able to get that ball down the field, score a few times. All right, next game. Atlanta Falcons versus the New Orleans Saints. This isn't really even a question. The Falcons are not a good team. The Saints are a good team. The Falcons won't even have a lead to blow, so this one's clearly going to the Saints unless the Falcons get a really lucky win. The next game is the Jaguars versus the Steelers. Now, at this point, I'm hoping that the Steelers will lose a game because I really don't want them to go 16-0. But come on, the Jaguars are one of the worst teams, probably bottom three in the league. Steelers are one of the best, maybe the best in the league. That's a clear victory for them. But you never know. They almost lost to a fourth-string quarterback with the Cowboys. Next game, Patriots versus Texans. This is going to be very confusing because they have like the same jersey colors. I'm not going to be able to see what team is what unless the Texans wear their bright red jerseys, which actually they may. But the Texans, without DeAndre Hopkins, they're really not a good team. Sure, they have Will Fuller, but he's nowhere near the skill level as DeAndre Hopkins. He's probably the best wide receiver in the league this year with Kyler Murray on the Cardinals. They already had their game against the Seahawks, which I kind of predicted the Seahawks were going to win. They lost the last game. They were going to want to win this one, which they did. But this game is between the Patriots and the Texans. Texans aren't a great team. The Patriots they're an okay team this year. Definitely not as good as they were in the past, but I do think that they're better than the Texans are going to come out with the victory on this one. Eagles versus Browns. Now the Browns are not a great team, but their record says otherwise. Eagles are another bad team. I mean, they're in the worst division. One of the teams in that division is going to make it in the playoffs with a record of like 6-10, and they're going to get out right away. I mean, maybe not. Maybe they'll get a lucky win. But if one of those teams ends up winning the Super Bowl or something, that's going to be. Honestly, I hope the Giants will win that one because I kind of like the Giants. So I mean, if they win the division, I won't be mad. But anyway, the Browns versus the Eagles. Browns don't have Odell Beckham Jr. But they do have Jarvis Landry, another good wide receiver. The Eagles have a pretty full-powered team, but even with their full-powered team, they're not a good team. And the Browns are not a great team either, but they're better than the Eagles, and they're gonna probably end up with the victory on this one. Now the next game, The Panthers have come so close to beating so many good teams. The Chiefs, they lost by a field goal, less than a field goal. They lost by 2 points, and they missed the game-winning field goal. When the Chiefs won that game, they got so close to beating so many other good teams. And then the Lions. At one point, they were an 0-16 team. They're not looking a whole ton better this year, but they're an okay team. But they don't have their running back, so that might affect their game. I mean, the Panthers, they have a worse record, but they're the better team. They've been playing good teams, and they've been coming so close to beating them. The Lions are not a good team, and I don't even know if this will be a close game. I think the Panthers are definitely going to win this one. What? Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, next game, Titans versus the Ravens. Two very good teams. I mean, at the beginning of the season, maybe a few games in, 3 or 4 games in, this would have been a very good game. Um, but honestly, the Titans have not been playing well recently. They just lost to the Colts. They lost to the Bengals. I think they're on a losing streak of 3 right now. But I mean, the Ravens just lost to the Patriots, so you never know. But I think the Ravens are going to do a little bit better. Uh, it all honestly it depends if Derrick Henry does well. Sometimes he'll have an absolute bomb game, like he'll go crazy, get like 3 touchdowns, one of them being like 90 yards, or maybe he'll get like I don't know 50 rushing yards. So it really depends how they use him that game. I think that they could use him pretty well against the Ravens. The Ravens have a good rushing defense. Uh, but I don't know. I mean, you really can't stop Derrick Henry. He's Derrick Henry. Now there's the Ravens. They have Lamar Jackson, their quarterback slash running back. They have Marquise Brown, not a great wide receiver, gonna be honest. They have Mark Andrews. He's actually a great tight end. If it weren't for Mark Andrews, they would have one of the worst wide receiver cores in the league. I mean, they don't have a good wide receiver core. I mean, they really need wide receivers. If they really had like a star wide receiver, um, they'd be such a good team. They really don't. So, uh, I mean, they're still an amazing team. Don't get me wrong. The Ravens are a great team. They have been playing great, but I don't know. I mean, they're definitely a run first team. That's for sure. Uh, no, we're not. Actually, that's not true. They are definitely a pass first team. But that's the thing. They don't have anybody to pass to. Yeah. Okay. Their defense is great. I mean, they have tons of great players on their defense. They don't have Earl Thomas anymore, but that clearly has not been too big of a setback for them. They're still playing great. Uh, Honestly, this one will be close, but I think the Ravens will win probably either a really low or a really high scoring game. Ravens are going to probably come out on top for that one. All right, the next game, the first of 4 in the 4 o'clock time zone area window thing. The Jets versus the Chargers. Now, the Chargers have gotten so close to beating so many great teams. I mean, really, the only team that they have lost to by, like, I mean, that was going to be an obvious loss that it couldn't have gone either way, was last game against the Raiders. Uh, every other game they could have won. They could have beat the Chiefs. They could have beat the Chiefs, probably the best team in the league. I do think that they're better than uh, the Steelers, just my opinion. But the Jaguars, or not the Jaguars, the Chargers can beat the bad teams such as the Jets. The Jets are 0-9, and I think they're going to continue to be a winless team, going 0-10, losing to the Chargers and Justin Herbert, the rookie quarterback. Next game, the Dolphins versus the Broncos. I mean, this is probably a pretty obvious one of the most obvious ones during the games, out of the games. I don't know. Tomorrow, the game's most obvious one. That makes sense. I mean, the Dolphins are going to win this one. They're playing great. Ever since they started Tua, they've been playing great. Their defense has been playing great. Their offense has been playing great. I mean, I think they're going to absolutely destroy the Broncos. They crushed the 49ers. They beat the Cardinals. They beat, I don't remember who else, but the Dolphins are a better team than the Broncos. They're probably going to win this one. The next game is another very obvious one. The Vikings could honestly be like undefeated or at least pretty close. They just don't have. They didn't have Dalvin Cook for a few of those games, and that was definitely a major setback for them. Um, Dalvin Cook is a huge piece of their team. I mean, he can score 4 touchdowns easily in a game. And that just, I mean, they were able to beat the Packers. They were able to beat the Bears. Kirk Cousins just got his first ever Monday Night Football win, which is a crazy stat. Um, the Vikings are actually a good team. Cowboys are not. Sure, they were almost able to beat the Steelers, and they found their quarterback for now, Garrett Gilbert. I mean, maybe they'll start Andy Dalton. I don't know if he's better yet. Better yet, probably not. And I think Garrett Gilbert is better than Andy Dalton. I think he played a lot better in the first place. Or not? I don't know what I'm saying. Oh wait, I've never circled this game. That going to the Browns. So yeah, this one's going to the Vikings. Dalvin Cook. They have Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. Kirk Cousins is not a great quarterback. Gonna be completely honest, he's actually a pretty bad quarterback, but he can get the job done when he needs to, and he can win games, especially games against bad teams like the Cowboys. The next game, the last game, daytime afternoon game, the Colts versus the Packers. This could be a really good game. I mean, the Packers are a great team, probably a top 5 in the league. I'm not sure about that one, but they have, I think, maybe the best wide receiver in the league in Devontae Adams. I think he might be a little bit better than DeAndre Hopkins. He's a lot more consistent. DeAndre Hopkins will always have those bad games where he doesn't get any touchdowns. He gets like 3 catches for 50 yards. Devontae Adams will score like a touchdown or two every game and drop 100, 200 yards. He's just such a consistent receiver, but he is going against probably the best defense in the league. So will that be able to stop him? I don't know. That'll be a good game for sure. The Colts can beat the Titans. They can beat other good teams, but I don't think that they can beat the Packers because the Packers are just such a great team this year. They have been recently. They just can't seem to make it to the Super Bowl. They always lose in those important playoff games, but maybe this is their year. We'll see. Now, the last Sunday game is a rematch between the Chiefs and the Raiders. Now, the first game, the Raiders actually were able to defeat the Chiefs, which is surprising. So yeah, that's a rematch between the two teams. The Chiefs are a great team. The Raiders are another great team, but they're not as good as the Chiefs. Uh, I mean, the Chiefs are again probably the best team in the league in my opinion. Uh, and they're not going to want to be beat by the same team twice. I mean, they haven't even been beat twice, so I don't think they want to be beat by the same team twice. I mean, they are going to know what to do against the Raiders this time. I just think there's no way the Raiders win. I think this is a definite win for the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. Now, the Monday night football game this week, I don't have it on this schedule because these schedules are just for the Sunday night because this is what I get from the NFL Instagram page because I want to have the official schedule. So the Monday night game is between the Los Angeles Rams and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two good teams. I mean, yeah, two great teams. But the Rams lost to the Dolphins. Now the Dolphins are another great team, which is very surprising to say. I mean, if the Bills keep losing these games that they need to win, or getting pretty close, I mean, they're gonna start losing a lot, and the Dolphins could honestly lead the division this year. They've been a crazy good team before, and honestly, it's coming back. Brian Flores is a great coach. I think he's coach of the year. Most people think Mike Tomlin. I don't know why. I think Brian Flores is the obvious choice for coach of the year. Uh, anyway, um, the Rams versus the Buccaneers. I think this will be another pretty good matchup, but I think the Buccaneers are the better team and they're going to get the win on this one. So those are all of my Week 11 NFL predictions. If you agree or if you disagree, tell me in the comments. What would you change? What would you not change? Or would keep the same? If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and subscribe so you can see more content like this, and hit the bell so that you always get a notification whenever I upload a new football video. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.